Hello guys, so today I want to talk about like the morality of a tyrant and a rebel. And you're going to ask who's wrong and who's right. You know, who is worse, the tyrant or the rebel? And I'm sure, you know, anyone in a position of authority or anyone who tends to favor authoritarianism, especially like even someone small like a parent or a teacher or, like a principal on up to the higher politicians, or anyone who seems to be rather well established in society, probably is going to want to side with the authority figure, whereas somebody who maybe is less established, is maybe fighting, wants to be free, he's going to side with the rebel more. And the way I view it is people go up to the rebel and say, "You have such a problem with authority," and then the rebels, people side at them, go up to the tyrant and say, "Oh, you're such a tyrant." Now, both of these two statements have something in common, that they're just bold statements. I can yell at someone for having a problem with authority, or I can yell at someone and call them a tyrant, but maybe it's true, but it doesn't mean anything. How is that wrong? There's no rationality behind it. I can even bring up evidence that say that they do have something wrong with authority, or they do have problems with authority, and you know what they're just going to say? I know. That's the thing. Someone goes up to me, "You just have problems with authority." You know what? I look them right in the eye and I'm like, I know. So what? It's just like, when you go up to, say, High King, Emperor, Majesty, whatever, some very powerful man, and you say, "You're such a tyrant," well, he's not going to care. He's going to be like, "Yeah, I am a tyrant. What are you going to do about it?" So first of all, like, this kind of language, this kind of behavior, means nothing. Going up to an anarchist and say you have problems with authority is not going to faze him. So what you have to do is say, why that's wrong, why this is, and why that it is wrong. Now, the tyrant probably won't care, because probably he's a sociopath, he probably knows it's wrong, but he does bad things anyway. It's probably going to be the rebel, who is either rebel because he cares about what's right, or he's, again, maybe a sociopath and just wants to be free. Those are two possibilities. So you have to go to the rebel, because obviously the authoritarian person's not going to care. And you need to explain to him why his rebellious behavior is, quote, wrong, right? Here's the thing. Here's why, ultimately, in the end, I am always going to side with the rebel over the tyrant. Because the rebel's obviously going to win that argument. He's going to win that debate. Why? Because it's as simple as this. If you are a rebel, an anarchist, a libertarian, or whatever, you are considered bad. And the reason people who usually side with authority consider you to be bad, the reason they say you have a problem with authority, is because you take freedom that supposedly is not entitled to you, right? You take freedom that is not yours. You should not be that free. You are bad for being free. Now, we universalize our morals, right? Which means if something applies to me, it also applies to you and everyone else equally, no matter who they are, no matter what position of authority they have, whether they're a citizen or a police officer or a soldier, it applies equally to everyone. And we look at the tyrant, and he also makes himself free. So now, when you look at the rebel as being bad, well, you have to look at the tyrant as being equally bad. Because the rebel makes himself free by essentially eliminating the tyrant's power over his life, or trying to make everyone free, therefore he is free, right? Well, the tyrant not only makes himself free by enslaving everyone else, but also, therefore, takes their freedom for himself. So who is freer? Who is freer? Somebody who has the freedom to go down the street and buy marijuana and smoke it without getting in trouble because he wouldn't get caught, or someone who not only has the right to go down the street and buy marijuana and smoke it without getting in trouble, but has the right to have other people do it for them and them not have a choice, because, you know, a dictator obviously gets whatever he wants, right? So who now is worse? Subject A or Subject B? And the answer is always going to be, like, the tyrant. He's worse, because he takes other people's freedoms as well as his own. Therefore, he's way more free than just one person being free, you know? Say, raw milk, essentially. What if a law's passed and it's legal to drink raw milk? Oh, great, the rebel has his freedom, but the dictator not only now has the right to drink raw milk, but he has the right to make other people drink raw milk. You know, he owns other people's freedoms as well as himself, is the point I'm trying to make out. So therefore, always, no matter what, the tyrant is more immoral than the rebel. And, you know, that's an interesting thing to point out, because people don't usually see it that way. You know, they're brainwashed by the system. They think that having a problem with authority is automatically bad. They never think about why it's bad. And they don't realize that, wait a second, authority is bad, because they're just like the rebel, except they have more power. So, I guess that's all for now, guys. Thanks for watching, and Auf Wiedersehen.